It's one thing saying, I want to write fantasy. Yeah. It's another thing sitting down in front of a laptop and going, once upon a time. But when I saw you wrote a book, I'll be honest with you, Jay, I was really interested. Because it's part of me, in my mind, I think, I'd love to write something someday. But how did this come out? Is this what you always want to do? Or was this a moment in the hills in LA going, you know what? I've read fantasy forever. That was my genre. Like, my dad had a million, like, dusty old fantasy novels that he would give me, and I just devoured them. It was a couple of years ago. I was in a publisher's. They asked me if I wanted books, and so I went with a lovely woman and said, yeah, what fantasy do you have? And she walked me up and down the aisle, and I said, seriously, that I will take as many as I can get without being rude. So she filled one of those little tote bags with fantasy. She got speaking to my lovely manager, Damo, and he was like, oh yeah, Charlie Bird loves writing, he'd love to do this. And he sort of set the wheels in motion. I've just been around it for so long that I knew what I wanted to write. When I first started, I remember thinking, like, writing a fantasy novel that was like that. Like, some kid that's in a small town where everyone's sort of on top of you and on top of each other, and then you find out something. You've got this, like, magical power, and away you go into, like, a world where all that stuff that used to scare you isn't scary anymore, and you miss it. And now you meet, like, the new big bad bulls, and it's parallel to some of, like, whisking off into a boy band and meeting their record label execs and the people that float around those people and thinking, I felt like a fish out of water when I was back home. And now that I've sort of seen the rest of the world, I am a fish so strongly from the water that I'm from, but with magic. Yeah.